we want to start this hour with some breaking news. We're just getting in here to Court TV, and it has to do with George Floyd. A federal grand jury has found that George Floyd's civil rights were violated, and they have indicted all 4 of the Minneapolis police officers that were there on scene when George Floyd died last June. Of course, Derek Chauvin was convicted of second-degree and third-degree murder for George Floyd's death. That was in state court, but now the federal government has also filed charges not only against that man, Derek Chauvin, but also against the other 3 officers that were there at the time: Thomas Lane, J. Alexander King, and Officer Tu Tao. Those 3 other officers are still waiting the state case against them in Minnesota. Trial is scheduled for next fall at this point, but now the federal government is also involved. A federal grand jury, again, has indicted all 4 of the Minneapolis police officers there that day on civil rights charges that they violated George Floyd's civil rights. Still with me, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Keith Lamar, and joining our discussion, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Holly Waltman. Holly, welcome to you. First, your reaction to the feds indicting all 4 of the officers. Holly, to you, I guess this wasn't a huge surprise given the fact that we have heard that there was an investigation going on. They went the grand jury route. What's your take in terms of the strength of a case like this, given the facts that we know?
Well, good morning, Ted. Thanks for having me. You know, at first glance, for a layman or someone on the outside looking in, you think, how in the world could they indict Derek Chauvin, given the fact that he's already been convicted? Is this double jeopardy? And the truth is, it's not. He is going to be, I think we will learn, indicted on different charges. And I think that the strength of the Fed's case is very strong. The evidence is very compelling about this case. And I think that we will see perhaps that the other 3 officers don't even get their state trial if the feds do move as fast as I anticipate them to move in prosecuting these 4 officers.
Keith, do you think the feds will go first?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I agree with Holly 100%. If the feds got a case against you, you know, that's a problem. They usually don't move forward unless they have a lot of good evidence. So I do think that depending on the speed, they probably will go a little bit faster than next fall. And if that happens, then the other officers might end up taking a plea on that state case.
Yeah, might plea out on the state case, which we're anticipating possibly anyway. Again, the breaking news: the federal government has filed charges. A federal grand jury has indicted all 4 of the Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's death. The indictment's basically saying that George Floyd's civil rights were violated.